Your team isn't confused about your values. They've just stopped believing them. Not because they don't respect you, because they've been watching you long enough to know the difference between what you say matters and what actually does. I want to describe a moment most leaders have experienced, but almost no one talks about. You're in a meeting, you just said something you genuinely believe. Maybe it's about accountability or margins or the importance of following through. And you look around the room and nobody reacts. Not disagreement, not pushback, just quiet. That quiet isn't respect. That's your team waiting to see what you actually do. Because at some point, and most leaders can't name exactly when, the people around them stopped taking their words at face value. They started watching their actions instead. Patrick Lencioni spent decades working inside organizations at every level. And what he kept finding in boardrooms, in small businesses, in leadership teams of every size wasn't a strategy problem. It was a health problem. He called it organizational health. And his argument was simple. The greatest competitive advantage any organization can have isn't a better plan. It's a leadership team whose actions consistently reflect what they say they value. I agree with that, but I'd take it one step further. Organizational health doesn't begin with the organization. It begins with the leader. Specifically, it begins with the gap between who you intend to be and who your team consistently experiences. In my work with leaders, this is the credibility and integrity pathway, one of the 5 pathways inside the ACT framework. And in 15 years of coaching, it is the one thing that quietly sits underneath almost every other leadership challenge I see. Not because leaders lack integrity, but because credibility is more fragile than most leaders realize. And it erodes in ways that are almost invisible until the damage is already done. Here's what that erosion looks like in practice. It doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens in the ordinary ones. Like one difficult conversation gets postponed, or one commitment doesn't get followed through, or one standard gets held for everyone else and quietly excused for the leader. None of those moments feel significant on its own, but leadership is cumulative. Your team isn't drawing conclusions from your best moments. They're drawing conclusions from your consistent ones. James Cuses and Barry Posner have been studying leadership credibility for over 30 years. They've surveyed more than 1 million people across industries, asking a simple question: what do you most need from a leader? The answer across 30 years and 1 million respondents has never changed. Credibility. Not vision, not charisma, not results. Credibility. And the way they define it is worth sitting with. Do what you say you will do. That's it. Not perfection, not brilliance. Consistency between your words and your actions. Their research found that the single fastest way to destroy a team's trust isn't a dramatic failure. It's the quiet accumulation of moments where a leader's behavior and their stated values stops telling the same story. People do not need perfect leaders. They need predictable ones. I'm working with a leader right now who runs her own business. Smart, driven, genuinely cares about her team and her customers. And she has a pattern that is quietly costing her more than she realizes. She has told her team clearly more than once that they will hold certain margins on the work they perform. Pricing integrity matters. They don't discount their way into relationships. She means it when she says it. And then a customer pushes back. They ask for a discount. They challenge the price. They make it uncomfortable. And she gives in to them. Not always, but often enough. Her team watches this happen. They don't say anything, but They are drawing conclusions about what the margin standard actually means, about whether the next time they're in a tight spot with a customer, the same exception applies to them. And whether her words on this or anything else are the real standard or the stated one. And here's what makes it so hard to see from the inside. She isn't giving those discounts because she doesn't care about credibility. She's giving them because she cares deeply about her customers, about the relationship, about not disappointing someone standing right in front of her. That's not a character flaw. That's a pattern. One that probably served her well when the business was young and every customer felt irreplaceable. And one that is now quietly working against everything she's trying to build. Some leaders show the gap through their actions, the way she does. Others name it out loud. They walk into the next meeting and say, "I'm going to have to fall on the sword on this one." The room nods. The meeting moves on. And the team thinks, he knows it was wrong. And nothing's going to change. That's not accountability. That's the performance of accountability. And your team knows the difference, even when they don't say so out loud. Whether the gap shows up in what you do or what you say, the effect is the same. The moment a team stops believing a standard, it isn't a standard anymore. It's a suggestion. Credibility isn't built through intention. It's built through consistency. Your team experiences your leadership, not your intentions. And the distance between those two things, between who you mean to be and who they consistently see, that distance is where trust lives or dies. This is what the ACT framework is designed to help leaders see: awareness, choice, transformation. For the leader I described, awareness wasn't recognizing that she gave discounts. She already knew that. Awareness was seeing what those discounts were communicating to the people around her. The message her pattern was sending over and over without a single word. Choice comes next. Not between caring about customers and holding standards, between leading by instinct and leading by intention. And transformation, it won't happen in one conversation. It will begin the moment she lets a standard hold, even when it's uncomfortable, even when the customer pushes, even when every instinct she says, make it easier. That's the work. Small, specific, repeated, until her team starts to believe, through experience, not words, that she means what she says. And that's authentic leadership. If what I've described feels familiar, if there's a gap between what you say you value and what your team consistently experiences from you, I want you to understand your own pattern before trying to change anything else. The ACT Leadership Style Assessment is free, and it takes about 10 minutes. It'll show you your leadership style, the specific pattern shaping your results right now, and practical next steps you can apply immediately. The link is in the description. Hey, before you go, 3 questions, not about your organization, not about your team, about you. Where is there a gap right now between what you say you value and what your team consistently experiences from you? Is that gap showing up in what you do or in what you say after the fact? And finally, what would it mean for your team and for your own integrity if you closed one of those gaps this week? Not with a conversation, with a behavior. Your team is already watching. The question is what they're seeing. That's what this channel is about. Real conversations about what it actually takes to lead well, starting with the truth about what's been getting in the way. If you're ready for that conversation, subscribe, because this is the life you lead.